Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today, let's talk about my favorite winter fragrances or fragrances that I'm most excited to wear this winter. Now, of course, I'm going to be wearing other fragrances as well. You know, I have a very large collection. These are not the only ones that I'm going to wear, but I wanted to choose some that I definitely was really looking forward to wearing this winter. And let's start with this one. Now, if you watched my latest haul, then you know the whole story of how I got this fragrance, because this was on my wish list, my number one fragrance on my wish list for a while. And I was so thrilled when it actually came to me completely unexpectedly. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that story here, but let's talk about the fragrance. This is Porto Vintage from Gustave Eiffel. This is a beautiful and unusual boozy fragrance. You know, there are a lot of boozy fragrances on the market these days, but I find this one to be the most unique. Now, there is liquor in here. Obviously, it's a boozy fragrance. There are also some spices in here. There's cinnamon, there's ginger. I think there's anise in here as well. And there is a really interesting addition of candied orange. And that's what I really get here. You know, I do get candied orange. It truly feels like candied orange, you know. There's definitely spiciness in here, although the note that comes across the most is surprisingly anise. And I say surprisingly because I typically despise that note. But somehow in this fragrance, it works. It just really works. It brings some kind of element of cold air to the fragrance, and I absolutely love it. It's as if, you know, you're drinking this liquor, whatever it is. To me, it kind of, you know, smells like kind of aged red wine, you know, and you're drinking this glass of wine on like maybe somewhere on your balcony or somewhere on a cold, I wanted to say morning, but perhaps for wine, it's better to say cold evening, because it really has that kind of a cold element to it, and maybe you're having it with some candied oranges. That's kind of how it feels to me. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. Definitely not a safe blind buy because it's quite unique and I don't think everyone is going to like it, but I love it and I'm really, really looking forward to wearing it. Next on the list is Trastavere from Pantheon Roma. Another beautiful, not very talked about fragrance. I absolutely love it. This one is kind of nutty and vanillic and balsamic and kind of difficult to explain. Although this one doesn't have any boozy notes, but to me it does feel a little bit boozy. It is definitely nutty and there are chestnuts in here, so I'm, to be honest, not sure if this smells exactly like chestnuts. It's just, it smells nutty. It has nutty qualities to it. To me, it also has slight chocolatey qualities as well. So it's like some kind of nuts with chocolate with a little bit of some kind of liquor or something. Definitely sweet. So it has vanilla, but it's not overpowering. Vanilla is not overpowering. It's there, but it's not the main element. I think this fragrance is also quite unique. It's not similar to anything else. It's beautiful. This is a unisex scent. Both me and my husband enjoy wearing it. And I think that cold weather is definitely the best time of the season to wear it. Next, we have a longtime favorite. This is Rouge Saray from Atelier des Ors. Another sweet fragrance. Well, no surprises here, but it's not just sweet. It's very deep, it's very woody, it's very balsamic, it's a little bit fruity. It is beautiful. It's very deep, dense type of fragrance. So the stars of the show here for me are definitely dates. I think there are plums in here as well, and I do get a little bit of a plum in the opening, but really for the majority of the life of this fragrance, I get more dates than plums. There's definitely cinnamon in here because I do get that cinnamony kind of spiciness. Of course, there is vanilla, but there are also woody notes, and there's also, I think, some kind of balsam in here, maybe prayer balsam, I can't remember, but it does have that balsamic quality for sure. So it is deep, it is dense, it is sweet, it is a little bit fruity, but this is kind of a wintry type of fruity scent. This is definitely too much for the warm weather, but for cold weather, it is absolutely perfect. So I'm definitely looking forward to wearing Rouge Saray this winter. Next, we have a stunner that I got, I think, last spring. I got it at the time when it wasn't really appropriate weather for this fragrance because, again, this is deep, this is dark, this is kind of beastly, and warm weather, no, it's not gonna work. It's just gonna be completely overpowering. So now that the weather is cold, I am definitely pulling this out. What is this? Well, many of you probably recognized it. This is a very recognizable bottle. This is Sultan from Royal Crown. I mean, yes, the bottle and the cap are slightly gaudy, perhaps, but they're also beautiful. I have to say that this bottle is beautiful. But most importantly, of course, the juice inside. So what is this juice about? Well, again, it's very deep, it's very kind of smoky, it's definitely woody, it is also sweet. Surprisingly, you know, I don't know, I mean, I put them next to each other by accident, really, but this fragrance also has the note of dates, although I have to say that here, dates are not super pronounced to me, you know. I do get slight fruity touches in here, but definitely not as pronounced as in Atelier des Ors. For sure, Rouge Saray really has a pronounced dates note. Sultan, for me, doesn't. This is more, you know, again, resinous, this is smoky, this is woody, it's definitely sweet, so there is vanilla in here for sure. There is maybe labdanum in here as well, so it is dense, it is beastly, it is gorgeous, gorgeous. Again, a fragrance that I've wanted for a while. Didn't want to pay full price for it because I think it's completely outrageous. I mean, even on a discount, this is a pricey one, but you know, this wasn't a blind buy. I've sampled it and I knew that I absolutely loved it. And so when opportunity presented itself, I grabbed this fragrance and did not regret it. So definitely pulling out this beauty this winter. Another one that I love and really look forward to wearing is Plum and Cognac from the Scents of Wood. And you know, the name here tells you right away what it smells like. It's plums in cognac. That's really what it smells like. It's boozy. Again, it's fruity. It's a little bit spicy. It's a little bit woody. It's gorgeous. This fragrance is gorgeous. Scent profile is amazing. Everything is blended together beautifully. The scent just blooms in cold weather. There's only one little downside to this fragrance. I wish it was a little bit longer lasting. I wish it projected just a little bit more. I feel like, I don't know, this scent should be beastly. At least I would like it to be. And I feel like it's a little bit more subdued than I would like it to be. So, you know, it's not the best performer. It's definitely not terrible. Somewhere in the middle. I just wish it performed a little bit better, but I absolutely love the scent profile. And so, you know, I can put up with maybe slightly lacking performance. Next on the list is a very interesting and a little bit unusual for me fragrance, and that is Iris Empire from Carolina Herrera, from her Confidentials line. You know, when I first kind of heard about this fragrance and looked on Fragrantica at the notes, I thought, no, I don't think this fragrance is for me. I mean, it has, purple florals in it, obviously iris, and it has violet. It has patchouli, which I love. It has benzoin. So it really has that base of, fragrances from Confidentials line that have that kind of sweet, chocolatey, patchouli base. I think majority of them have that base, which I absolutely love. But then there is a note of leather, which I thought, no, leather is not for me. But again, I had an opportunity to sample this one, and I was really surprised how much I loved it. There's something really, I don't know, mysterious about this fragrance for me. There's something a little bit dark about the fragrance. You know, I really love the bottle color because I think it really suits the juice. Yes, I do get a little bit of leather, especially in the opening, but it's so smooth. It is so understated. It's not like right in your face type of heavy masculine leather. No, it's really smooth, and it really adds a kind of this mysterious, interesting touch to this fragrance, you know? Yes, I do get purple florals, probably more iris than violet, which I do enjoy more. And like I said, there is this beautiful kind of patchouli, benzoin kind of base, which creates this chocolatey patchouli in my mind. So beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I think this is very sexy to wear like on a date or to wear somewhere out in the evening. I think it would be perfect for that. So I'm kind of thinking of this fragrance as my special occasion fragrance for the winter time. Next, we have my favorite from Giorgio Armani C line. It's no secret that this is my favorite. If you watched me for a while, this is C Le Parfum. This is a discontinued scent, but from what I hear, you know, the new C Intense that came out maybe, I don't know, a year or maybe two ago at this point is very similar to this one. To be honest, I have not sampled the new C Intense, so I don't know, but that's what I kind of heard from some people. But I was lucky enough to get this C Le Parfum, and I love it. This is really, to me, this is niche quality type of perfume. It is so, so beautiful. It is ambery, it is warm, it is spicy, it's vanillic, it is balsamic, it is a little bit smoky, just outstanding scent. There is obviously blackcurrant in here. I mean, all of the fragrances in C line have it, but there is also amber, and there's patchouli, and there is benzoin, and there is incense in here, and yeah, it has that smoky, rich element. It also has a boozy vibe, even though, again, no boozy notes in here. I don't think there are boozy notes in here, but it does feel boozy. It's like it's a really beautiful kind of rich, deep red wine. That's what it smells like to me. It's a stunning, stunning fragrance of very high quality, in my opinion. You know, I don't know if you can still find this one anywhere, but like I said, some people say that the new C Intense is quite similar to this one. Next, let's talk about a couple of new fragrances in my collection that I think I've showed you in a haul already, probably. Anyways, first one is a stunning cherry scent, and you know, cherry has been the it note this year, and I am a big fan of this note, and you know, very curious to try new fragrances with this note that come out. And I have to say, from all the new releases that I have tried, this is by far my favorite. And you know, I was skeptical about this fragrance when I first heard about it, I will admit it honestly. However, I was pleasantly surprised, more than pleasantly surprised, to be honest. This is Venom of Love from Navitus Parfums. This is their collaboration with Paulina Shar. I'm sure that all of you know her. And it's a gorgeous cherry scent. Obviously, it's, sweet, it's chocolatey, it's fruity. It is also quite dark. It's very sexy. It's very seductive. It's a deep cherry scent. There is chocolate in here, and I do get that chocolate note very, very clearly, especially in the first couple of hours. It's definitely this kind of cherry covered in chocolate. They have those chocolates. It's like there's cherry, there is a little bit of some kind of liquor, like brandy or something, and then it's inside of the chocolate candy. That's kind of what it smells like, and I think there is actually a liquor note in here as well. After a couple of hours, it becomes a little bit lighter. I lose a bit of the chocolate. That's my only small gripe with this fragrance. I wish that rich dark chocolate would stay a little bit longer, but either way, the fragrance is stunning, and to me, it's quite different from Lost Cherry. I mean, you can't get away from the note of cherry. That note is still here, but overall vibe and overall feel that I get from this fragrance, to me, is quite different from Lost Cherry. I would say that this is more of an evening fragrance, whereas Lost Cherry is probably more of a daytime fragrance. Anyways, I love this one. I have been wearing it already, and I'm definitely looking forward to wearing it more during winter. Next, let's talk about another new fragrance in my collection from a house that's really not talked about at all, and that is State of Mind, and the fragrance is called Spontaneous Generosity. Again, this is something that I think I talked about in one of my sampling videos, where I talked about some of the fragrances that I have tried. I've tried a few from this house, and I liked a few, but this one was definitely a standout for me, and that's why I decided to get the full bottle. Now, this fragrance is sweet. It's definitely, I would call it a gourmand, but there is more to it than just gourmand qualities. It is also a tea fragrance. In fact, this whole house, from what I understand, State of Mind, it's a house that doesn't just produce perfume, but they produce tea, like different types of tea. And so I think all of their fragrances have some type of tea note. So this one has black tea, and yes, I do get black tea in here for sure. There's also, there is caramel. There's probably vanilla, I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but caramel is here for sure. There's tonka bean. I think there's a note of cherry in here as well, although I don't get cherries. What I get is this strong black tea with a lot of sweetness. And the type of sweetness I get is kind of a mix of caramel and honey. I definitely get some elements of honey in here, although I don't believe there is an actual note of honey, but somehow that's the vibe that I get here. It's very warm, it's very cozy, it's very delicious. It's a beautiful fragrance. I think it will appeal to those that enjoy gourmands. It will also appeal to those that really enjoy a tea note in fragrances, which I happen to enjoy. And to me, this is kind of, this sweet, warm black tea is the best kind of tea, in my opinion. So I absolutely love this fragrance. I have worn it a few times already, and I'm definitely going to pull it out more this fall. And let's end this lineup with an oldie but a goodie. This is Bouquet Ideale from Xerjoff. I've had this fragrance for a while. I've loved this fragrance for a while, and it continues to be one of my favorites from this house. This, I would say, is a spicy, woody, vanilla type of scent. There are definitely some spices in here. I think there is some kind of tobacco note in here, maybe white tobacco or something like that, because I do get a little bit of this tobacco smoke, but it's not very heavy. So I don't think it's just your standard tobacco. For some reason, I think it's white tobacco, which is kind of lighter in my opinion. There's definitely sweetness in here. So there is a vanilla, could be some other sweet notes. And you know, for kind of this spicy, smoky scent, I think it's very, very smooth. It's very round. It's really nicely put together. I think there might be sandalwood in here as well, adding this kind of smoothness and creaminess to this scent. It's you know, it has all of these kind of strong notes, but the scent overall is kind of lighter. It's not overpowering. It's not very heavy, and it's not very dense, in my opinion. So, you know, you're not gonna choke yourself out by this scent. This is definitely, in my opinion, very daytime appropriate. So it's a beautiful scent, and I definitely recommend it. So there you go. This is my lineup of winter fragrances that I'm very excited to wear. Like I said, there will be others, I'm sure, but these are kind of the standouts for me for this winter. I would love to know, what are you planning to wear during the cold months? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to comment, subscribe, and like, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.